This is a little outside my content, but let me just get straight into it. A while ago now, some content creators were playing, I think in a tournament or against the devs. My memory might not serve me right though, but there was a key factor in that. After the match, it showed stats on who got healed more. Let's say this tank got healed 30,000 health, the other one 25,000, that kind of stuff. And when I saw that, and when a lot of people saw that, they said, we need to add that to the game. It'll expose people if they actually do bad. If someone has a lot of healing and they have the most deaths, then yeah, they're definitely the problem, wasn't healing. And people are advocating that and advocating that. It hasn't gotten added to the game, but when I think about it, those stats can be heavily skewed to form a false narrative. Let's bring this scenario. There's 2 DPS on a team. One of them went 25 and 5. The other 5 and 25. The 25 and 5 DPS, he received 8k healing. Very solid. Now, the other DPS only received 2k. Now, that 5 and 25 DPS will say, that's the reason we lost. That's the reason I had so many deaths, was because I didn't get enough healing. That it's a GG no heals moment, and it's a support's fault for not healing him. Well, that can be easily skewed, because in those 25 deaths, you can't heal a person nearly as much compared to if you have 5 deaths to 25. Even if, let's say that's 2 minutes of going from a spawn to the point, which is going to be a way more than that, but that's still multiple minutes. We are not getting healed. We are not in the fight. You just die instantly. And I feel like that's a big problem with the game right now. A lot of people look at one core thing, even if they advocate for it, and then later on, or unknowingly, people just completely take out the context from situations, from stats, from replays, from arguments, from everything. And I think that's really the core of, in my opinion, the downfall of this game. No matter which role you play, no matter if you're DPS who thinks supports and tanks are trash, if you're support that thinks DPS and tanks are trash, or if you're a tank that thinks DPS and supports are trash, or a mix of all of them. No matter who you are, you think of at least one other role as toxic. No matter who you are, even if it's a little bit. And people use stats, people use pretty much just fake arguments, taking one word out of a sentence, taking one sentence out of a paragraph, taking one paragraph out of an essay, making blanket statements to cover a whole role, saying one role doesn't want to actually get better, that they're all brain dead and easy, that their own role is the hardest role, acting like they're the main character. Just all these paper thin arguments, these straw man arguments. And how this game is going, it's just getting worse, and I don't think it can be fixed. And a lot of people just say it's nostalgia, but Season 0 is truly something special. Quick play, it felt absolutely fun. Ranked felt very rewarding. Like, it was my first rank experience. Let me clarify. It was my actual first rank experience where I actually tried. And in Season 0, I had about a 55% win rate and got to GM3. And I will just say this, I was so happy to achieve GM3. The second highest role in the entire game at that point. I mean, I felt above the whole world. And then now, it's like, GM isn't seen as an accomplishment anymore. The whole perspective is completely sunk. You can have a negative win rate and still climb. A person that has a 60% win rate and plays 50 games a season and gets back, let's say, to GM2 nearly every single season, they could be better than someone who plays 500 games a season, has a 50.2% win rate, and reaches Celestial 3, and then dips off. But this is how the game is now. It's quantity over quality. Good players aren't nearly as rewarded, and bad and mid players are climbing because they just play a lot of games. There should be no situation in a game where, let's say there's a skilled player that's a 9 out of 10 across the board, and they're GM2. Then there's another player who comes along who are 6s across the board, but they play a ton more games and are a higher rank than them. That's not skill-based matchmaking. That's quantity-based matchmaking. Because if you took a player who only played 50 games with a 70% win rate, they got in GM2, and then had them face Celestial 3 with 500 games with a 50% win rate, the 50% win rate will not win. in most cases. Sure, will they maybe know more of niche things? Probably. They play a lot more, but time on the game doesn't equate to actual raw skill and raw potential and raw everything. And a lot of players, even if they have a positive win rate, are boosted. There should be no reason in the game that a person could play 500 games, move up 1 rank, and be called the better player when another person plays 1/100th of the games and achieve just a slightly lower rank. Even if you play on the same exact character, let's say there's a person who always plays Punisher. Lord Punisher has about like 100 hours on him, decent amount, pretty high amount, and they just stick to Punisher no matter what. No matter the situation, the map, the comp, always Punisher. Goes in, and he does pretty good each round. He's not stand out, he's not throwing, he's just there. He's contributing, and he's leading to wins. And that player, let's say, makes it to Celestial 2. Now another player, let's say a tank main, can play every tank at the same level. Switches out their tanks depending on the matchup, their own team's comp, the map, whether it's attack or defense, and overall just a big team player. They don't play nearly as much, and they're GM too. Would you really say that Punisher is better than that tank main? Even if that tank main is a good player as well? My main point I guess I'm trying to explain is that this game is unfixable. Even in their placement matches they got, like me, never having a negative win rate in all seasons, I only achieved a rank lower than GM3 in 2 seasons, one of which I only played 7 games in ranked. The other I think I played around 20, and I just didn't have motivation to play. In the season I played 7 comp games, I won 5 of them, and I breezed through the ranks that I was put in from the reset. And after only achieving 2 seasons with less than GM3, the game predicted me at Diamond 3. So, how'd the placements go? I won 2 in a row, both MVPs. Both games, my team was praising me of how good I am. I even have screenshots still of people praising me of how good of a Loki I am, because I was playing Loki for those 2 games. And then the next game, I get a DPS who says GG no heals. Throws the game by going on Widow, and my prediction goes down to Plat 1. So let me get this straight. You predict me at Diamond 3, I get 2 MVPs in a row, I don't get predicted any higher. A DPS throws my match, and I get SVP, and I D-rank my predicted rank to Plat 1? Like, are you serious? And then I ended off on Diamond 3 after winning a few more games. Like, I don't get what they were doing with that, but that's not how it works. Now this video is already getting to the length that I like videos at, around the 10-minute mark. And I know this is a bit rambly. I had one idea coming into this video and it spiraled into a few things, kind of like a brainstorm in a way. So let me know what you guys think. Can this game ever be saved from these crucial negative impacts and negative ideals? Can it improve, or will it just stay the same? And I'll leave you guys off with those questions. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. See ya.